Hey, good day, Modexus. It's still Monday. I had to go down to Washington State today for part of the day, so I'm a little late, but it was beautiful. It's actually summer weather here. The magnolia blossoms, you can smell them. And driving along the coast coming home with the trees budding out and the ocean and the snow-capped mountains, it was very picturesque and it was actually really beautiful. But as I was driving along, this guy went just really whipping past me at a high rate of speed. And you've probably had that happen to you too. But it got me thinking about surface tension. You know, you think about that amount of your tire times 4 that's between you and the road that's holding you there. And then when the weather gets bad, like a couple of weeks ago, we had ice and snow, and if we get really bad rain, of course, there's no surface tension and our car goes in places it shouldn't. Kind of defies science when people realize that surface tension is really important, maybe more important than they thought. And so it is in our body. So I've been studying glutathione now for almost 2 decades, and the first 2 things I learned about glutathione: number 1, it's made by our body from amino acids. We need 3 amino acids. Cysteine is the rate-limiting amino acid. As humans, we don't have an efficient mechanism for the absorption of the amino acid cysteine from food, so we have to bypass that in a scientific way, and the most clinically proven way is to bind 2 cysteine molecules together with a sulfur bond. It's called cysteine instead of cysteine, and that will pass through the intestinal tract at a much higher rate than cysteine. It's a reliable rate. We actually know the milligrams that we need for that to have an immunological effect, and it's around 200, 240 milligrams, depending on what we're using it for. So we have the science behind the use of the amino acids for the treatment of disease. There's clinical trials on optimizing glutathione with what's called FFATT, free-form amino acid therapy, using amino acids, and it has to be over 200 milligrams, 250, 500, 800, up to 1,000. There is a peak because of genetics where we can't use the amino acids. We don't have the enzymes and the systematic response to those amino acids, so they're either used elsewhere in our body or they're excreted. We don't store amino acids in our body. So it's high science. It's been well established. The second thing I learned about glutathione is that there's a surface tension resistance to exogenous glutathione. So exogenous glutathione is glutathione that's made outside of our body, and whether that's where it comes from, doesn't matter where it comes from. At our cells, there's a 98.2% resistance to exogenous glutathione. So nature has put a barrier between us and exogenous glutathione, or glutathione that we didn't make. So why would we take glutathione that we didn't make? It doesn't really matter if it's a liposome, a nanoparticle, or some spray, some way that actually shoots the glutathione into our cells against nature. There's no science. So there's no science beyond. So when it works. I mean, we can do that. We've shown that we can take glutathione and make it into a liposome or nanoparticle. We can shoot it through the body in a few seconds, 15, 20 seconds. It can be throughout the body. There's just no after that. There's no there after that. What does that glutathione do? How does it actually help in the 5 major functions of glutathione? And there's no studies on that except to say that exogenous glutathione should not be used in cancer therapy, particularly because it will interrupt in the bloodstream, will actually nullify the chemotherapy. Now, amino acid can be used in cancer therapy. You hear about immunotherapy. That's actually when we take a part of your immune system, usually a protein, and attach the chemotherapy to that, and then we give that back to you because we know your body's going to utilize it because it's got your protein on it. So there's this huge resistance to glutathione at our cellular level, and there's no science behind the utilization of that glutathione other than long-term usage can slow down the production of the enzymes required by your body to manufacture your own glutathione. I just wanted you to know this because it's sort of like the surface tension where people are suddenly surprised when, you know, there's water or ice on the road that their car just doesn't stop at 80 miles an hour like they thought it should, and they ended up in a tragedy. And so, you know, with Longevity, we've used exogenous glutathione simply as a trigger molecule. It's not there for any immunological activity. It's there as a trigger molecule to signal your body to take the amino acids, and we put a lot of amino acids in monocellular longevity to trigger that intercellular production, a natural production of glutathione. And in 20 years, I've never seen any research that denies or disputes the fact that the amino acids are the best way to optimize glutathione. We started off with N-acetylcysteine, which is a drug, and we used that in clinical trials because it has a predictable half-life. And so there's no science beyond that. So monocellular longevity, amino acid therapy, that's the way to get your glutathione. So it's Monday. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.